Again, this is like somebody having a swastika tattooed on them and saying that there's no evidence they're a Nazi. It's the most completely fucking retarded inversion of logic that you can ever imagine. Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wait, what's the comparison here? What do you mean? What part of these brown people that is a swastika? Can you show me what kind of swastika is showing them? Is it their skin color? Is it their tattoo? Because the tattoos don't even display MS-13 or anywhere, right? For a kill mark? Because if you compare any MS-13 tattoo, it looks nothing like the tattoos on his knuckles. But yeah, it just looks nothing like them.
Him being
By the way, do you know what the tattoo for MS-13 is? MS-13. It literally is MS-13 or MS-13. That's what the tattoo for MS-13 is. And it's plastered across someone's face. It's not plastered across someone's fucking knuckles where you can barely see them, okay? The point of these gangs is that they will try to own you in some way, right? They want you to proudly say that you are a part of MS-13. They don't want you to hide it like some kind of loser, okay? They want you to actually openly like display that you are in fact MS-13. Why the fuck, dude? There's nothing he says here makes any type of lick of sense, and I think Asmongold knows that, but he's just dishonest. Yeah. Amazing, he just says shit he has no idea about. He knows he's wrong. Well, he knows that he's not done enough research. I just don't get why he's pretending as if Asmongold is like he himself is smart, as if like games journalism even remotely applies to in real life politics, right? And ultimately, this is like one of the biggest problems of Asmongold is that he just thinks this is all fun and games. You know, this is all like video game drama.
and found with other people that were in MS-13 as well.
MS 13 MS 13. It's fucking everywhere. They write it multiple times across their bodies, dude. Like it's literally multiple times across their bodies. Like come the fuck on. MS. Do you see here? MS, right? Right? MS, right? MS, right? And this is a minor example, okay? But not even Abrigo Garcia's tattoo for MS-13 on his hand literally says MS-13. Do you see here how this is not even close? What tattoos do you have, Foodshops? None. I have no tattoos. I'm completely clean. I think tattoos are ugly, okay? But that's just a personal opinion. I have no problem with people like using tattoos or having tattoos. But yeah, that's just me. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And everybody knows it.
Okay.
They're just not statements that were made in
2019. The immigration judge at the time believed the Prince George's County gang unit and the evidence that they presented before that judge at the time that Mr. Garcia did indeed belong to a gang. This is not my opinion. People can Google this crap. They can Google this. CBS reported on this. If a judge believed it in 2019, is it now all of a sudden not true?
The judge granted him a withholding of removal.
No, I acknowledge.
So it has a withholding of removal, which, by the way, should have never happened. That is the part of it that should have never happened. Like the idea that we need to keep an illegal immigrant gang member in our country because we're worried that he might get killed in his other country. No, we shouldn't care about him at all. What are we talking about? This is not our problem. Send him the fuck back.
Dude, he's fallen so hard, dude. What the fuck? Dude, he's like... He has no sympathy, no empathy. Asmongold is not a nice person. Maybe this is too gay of me. Maybe this is too, like, soy of me or whatever, alright? But, like, none of what he's talking about right now or saying... Like, this is not a sympathetic person, okay? This person is cruel. He's mean, and his position doesn't come from principle. It just comes from fifis, right? Yeah, he's a meanie. Exactly. Like his own, he feels that this person is a gang member. He feels that this person should go back. He feels that this person is from MS-13. No proof, no anything to back it up, no solid proof, nothing. And even then, if you feel like the proof is so strong, you should be more than happy to take him to court, where I have no doubt that he'll be convicted of being an MS-13 member, and then he'll be deported, right? If you feel like the evidence is so strong. The entire point is that the evidence should be strong, and the burden of proof should be on the person that is accusing him of being an MS-13 member, right?
Appeal that decision. I think they
Which
should.
is a different issue. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous decision. It should have never happened. And we care about due process? I don't. Why do people care so much about a process that is inherently flawed? Why is it?
Wait, I thought Asmongold cared about due process. Did he not say that they went through due process? Did he not say that they went through due process? And that's why he already supports this? Like, the deportation in the first place is already due process, according to him, right? So now he's flip-flopped his position to, I don't care about due process. Like, I hope that people realize that he literally changed his position. Like, he literally flip-flopped on his position here. Right? Like, and also, like, what a crazy statement to make, obviously, right? Because without due process, you can't have democracy. The entire point of due process is that you're basically saying not even the king is above a law, right? Otherwise, what you actually want is a dictatorship. What you actually want is a monarchy, right? That's what you actually want, but maybe you're just too afraid to say it. And for the record, okay, if you love monarchy so much, why don't you go to another country? Like, what? You don't have to be here. No one's forcing you to be in the United States, right? No one's forcing you to be here. If you hate due process so much, you don't have to be in the United States. You can just go somewhere else. You don't have to be here and suffer the process. Like, you don't have to suffer due process, right? If you hate our democracy so much. Like, he is anti-democracy. He's anti-freedom. He's like pro-dictatorship. Like, literally, straight up. Like, he has become... I feel like as we have watched Asmongold over time, right? Like, us on our channel, we're like professional Asmongold haters, right? Like, Asmongold for us is just another day, right? For Foodshops, right? I feel like over time, he has gotten more and more cruel, more and more unhinged, more and more, like, mask off about his beliefs, like, in my humble opinion, right? Like, am I wrong for thinking this? Am I wrong for like saying that it seems as though like he has gotten more radicalized now? I mean, somebody tell me if I'm like gaslighting myself, you know? Like, I don't want to be like fucking unhinged here, right? But I feel like over the course of watching Asmongold, like from my stream, over and over again, I feel like there's enough evidence to show that like he has gotten more and more unhinged. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I mean, you don't like, please. It would be just far better if you said, yeah, I'm pro Nazi, right? Like, if Asmongold came out, like, if Asmongold came out and said, yeah, I'm actually a neo-Nazi, I would actually have far more respect for him, unironically. Just simply because I think that at least that's more honest of him, right? But like, to pretend and sit here and pretend that you like the United States of America, you know, like, why? Why do you have to force yourself to do this? You don't have to pretend to like the United States. You can just move yourself somewhere else, right? There's plenty of authoritarian countries around the world that you can move to. You don't have to be in the United States. You don't have to be here. No one's forcing you to be here. You're rich. You can go to another country and buy a mansion there, right? Though he's not, though. I know he's not a neo-Nazi. Although, to be fair, I literally can't be sure about anything anymore, okay? Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm surprised by everything that happens these days, okay? But, like, again, right? Like I wouldn't be surprised, right? The fact that I'm even questioning that makes me go nuts, because his his supporters will always try to gaslight you into thinking the opposite, that he's actually a well-reasoned out individual who has innocent takes that is just simply common sense. I'm sorry, but being anti-due process is not common sense. Being anti-court system is not common sense. This is not common sense. None of this is common sense. This is gaslighting and crazy making.
So
Okay?
important that we adhere to a process that is inherently flawed and fucked up. Everybody agrees that the law is fucked up.
What? So make it more fucked up?
Is what we have? No, it's what you're creating, and you're using this as a justification to stop people from undoing your intentional mistakes. You make the intentional mistake of letting in a bunch of illegal
It's common sense
aliens into the
among them,
country,
yeah.
and then somehow you use that same argument to say that other people can't get rid of them. It's bullshit. It is. It's bullshit.
Point remains that a judge found the evidence to be credible that Mr. Garcia did indeed
Okay.
belong to a gang. So now all of a sudden we're just not going to believe
Okay.
judges?
The judge
I mean, we
found-
can't have
okay.
it both ways.
I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but
Well, the judge, I mean, well...
my only point is that the government has not
Yeah.
presented beyond the police report. They have not actually presented the evidence to prove that he belonged to this gang.
So police reports are
That's
not
all
considered evidence before a court?
I'm pretty sure if we find evidence of this guy saying that he's part of MS-13, they will find a way to act like it's not true.
Okay, then find it. Find that clip. Find that clip for us of him saying that he is a part of MS-13 and will help you confirm your biases. That's fine. If you can find a clip of him saying that he is part of MS-13, then fine. But even if he was part of MS-13, right, he doesn't deserve any of this. He's a completely innocent man who has been taken advantage of, used as a warning to anybody who dare say, I oppose Donald Trump. I dare to have even a lick of melanin in my skin. That is basically the message that Donald Trump is putting out there, right?
The amount of mental gymnastics that they're going through in order to justify this,
I feel like Microsoft
like
13 would
anybody
have
who
been
supports
more
this, I
racist
would never
towards
vote for
blacks.
them.
Yeah.
This to me is like a fucking like a one issue. Like if you think that this is normal and good, I'm never going to vote. Why? Because it is a total inversion of all logic, rationality, and working in the best interest of the American population. It's a complete inversion. It's the
Court of
opposite.
law?
police
Do
report-
judges not
Let's-
consider
let's-
police
Reality
I-
denial. Yes.
What are we saying
But
here?
Sure, Michael, what was
But
the
it-
original?
This is relevant.
I want
It is
to hold on.
relevant.
I actually
It
want to
absolutely
finish the
It
point.
absolutely is relevant to the argument from the administration, which is that Mr. Garcia belonged to.
Asmon has felt a tad bit invincible since the Polymarket journalist got fired. It's making his takes more and more wild. Oh, I didn't know about any of that situation. But also, didn't he say that his one issue was free speech? So he has like racism towards white people. Didn't he say like his one issue was racism towards white people? I'm so confused. Like he can't have this many one issues, right? He can't even. I mean, you could, I guess.
Gang as one of
I
the
don't know.
reasons of deporting him out of the country.
But
and you guys are saying there's no truth to it. There's no facts to this. That's
Constitution-
not true.
The Constitution is
Well, it's also like, let's lose a little bit of logic here. If he has an order, if they want him to stay, why would the gang want to kill him? You ever think about that? Why would the gang?
They wanted to kill them because he is ultimately at its core, okay? At its core, somebody who is a victim of gang violence, actually. His mother's business got extorted. His sister, Barrio 18, not MS-13, Barrio 18, threatened to rape his sister, extort his mother's business, and threatened to kill him. You're really gonna tell that to someone whose sister was threatened to be raped by a violent gang? Yeah, no shit. Gangs do this all the fucking time. Gangs do this all the time. Like, this is just such a blatant, like, lack of fundamental empathy. It's crazy. Like, what a unhinged thing to say. What a unhinged thing to believe in, right? I thought Asmongold was mainly anti-SJW. He is an dude, yeah, I mean, he still is, right? But like, why would an anti-SJW not have these kinds of beliefs, right? Like, it makes sense that he would still have these kinds of beliefs. Yeah, I don't know. He's not part of the gang, Lamar. He had to pay their protection money. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I didn't want to kill him specifically, unless he had some form of relation to the gang. Why would that happen?
Bro, if I came to Asmongold's house and I held up a gun to him, does that mean I have a relationship with Asmongold? I mean, maybe to some people that's a relationship, okay? But, you know.
Very clear. It does not say citizens. It says no person should be deprived of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness without due process. It doesn't matter what he's done in his past.
Right.
The Boston
matter.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Let me finish. The Boston bomber had due
Actually,
process.
yeah, that's
okay?
a due process.
That's what
The Boston bomber was a U.S. citizen.
this
so
is
it
about.
doesn't matter.
Wait, I gave you time. Let me finish.
go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead.
This is
Right, and well, that's not how you determine whether or not somebody deserves due process. Okay.
a president who continues to twist.
Also, I like how outdated his information feed is, because people who are American citizens are deported without due process. So he's already contradicted on this front as well, right? Like people who are U.S. citizens are already deported without due process. So, like, what would Asmongold say to that? Like, he'll probably come up with, you know, another excuse, right? He'll probably say something like, oh, well, you know, that person wasn't actually an American citizen. People who are American citizens get due process. Well, that person was never an American citizen. I mean, how could a baby with cancer be an American citizen? You can't, because that person's a minor. Minors don't have that much rights.
The Constitution to adapt to whatever his vision is, to the point of
I
the
think the bomber was a
2-year-old who was
citizen?
deported without
Really?
due process, an American citizen. His father did not want him to go, and the only access he had to his daughter was listening to his daughter cry in the background in a 1-minute call. That 4-year-old did not.
Bro, so much emotional manipulation. It is embarrassing.
Nah, he is an American
It
citizen.
is so embarrassing. This is all these people have. Yeah, the emotional appeal. Oh my God, that's it. Yeah. No, he wasn't a citizen. Was he not? I thought he was.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if I remember right, I thought he was. Maybe I could be misremembering.
Not get access to a doctor, despite the fact of having stage 4 cancer, did not have his medication.
Either way, basically my opinion is that if you're found to not.
Wait, hold on. Yes. So if he wasn't a citizen, right, in Asmongold's worldview here, right? Like, because somebody in chat was, like, wrongfully, I think, saying that, oh, Ted Kaczynski was not an American citizen, right? Okay, now let's see what excuse Asmongold will give here. Okay, we'll see.
Not be a citizen, especially if you are an illegal alien. I don't think that we really should have to give you due process. As soon
Wait, what? You don't, so now it's changed to we shouldn't be having to give you due process. That's what it's changed to now? So technically back then they didn't have to give Ted Kaczynski due process? Is that what he's saying? Dude.
as we figure that out, then the only decision after that is figuring out how to get you out of the country. Everything else besides that is beside the point. There's no process that is the due process in itself.
Do you know his ancestors?
You're so off on this, dude? No, I'm not. It's not off at all. Why is it that we have to go through the entire political process for this? Why? Why? Who decided that?
What? Our founding
stupid.
fathers? What? What is he saying?
With him
He's
when he was
cooking
deporting
at absolute
American citizens to
zero.
Honduras. This is what this president is doing. He is twisting the definition of the Constitution, and people like you are disparaging character to try to justify the disparaging.
Due process does matter.
Did
You're
he
right
have
about
due
that.
process?
But the idea that Mr. Garcia's past doesn't matter is ludicrous.
the due
We
process,
live in a sovereign nation, and this
It
idea that
infuriates me that we're still being
Bro, you can be the most Nazi motherfucker ever, okay? But I still think you should go through due process. The Nazis, you know, has anybody heard of the Nuremberg trials? Do you know what they went through? Due process. That's right. Nazis who killed millions of Jews went through due process, okay?
gaslit
You know, we couldn't put Hitler on trial because, you know, he got killed by Hitler. So
about
you know.
this. I know, bro. It's insane. It's crazy that they keep doing this. You lost your chance of due process the moment you ignored the you ignored the due process to enter the country legally. Yeah, exactly.
What?
people can just come into our country and do what the heck they want to do. It's
I'll let you
absurd to me. And if Democrats want to die on this hill, I promise you'll regret it politically. So go right ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go
Let me
right
let-
ahead.
Right.
Go
Dan,
right
let me
ahead.
let-
Wait, hold on. No. Talking about this has been really beneficial for the Democrats, okay? Has it not? People have said that Trump isn't doing so hot on immigration. This is a fact, right? Like, this isn't... I think what he means is this a hill for Republicans to die on? Right? Is that what he means? That this shouldn't be a hill for Republicans to die on? Because if so, then that's more likely the case, right? I mean, they just deported an entirely innocent man, including many other people who are innocent, right? Is that the hill you want to die on? Hello?
Don't want people breaking our laws coming into our country. That is a fact.
Let me let Scott have a word, and then we'll move on.
It seems to me that the political analysis of this, though, is
You don't lose due process at any point. It's constitutionally protected. Well, here's the way I see it, right?
Oh
is
my
that
God.
the right to vote?
Okay, so he's about to give the smartest take of all time, right, guys? Right, guys? Hopefully. He's about to say something extremely intelligent, right?
Is also in the Constitution. It's an amendment. But it's not granted to people who aren't citizens. So there are already examples of things that are in the Constitution.
Bitch, it is we the people, not we the American citizens, you fucking moron. You absolute fucking buffoon. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you on about? It's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Rights for American citizens. bro.
Constitution that are not granted to non-citizens. And that is the premise that I base decisions off of. The Constitution of the United States is made for citizens of the United States. And it is explicitly not made for people in the United States, because if
Says nobody ever.
it was, then all of the amendments to the Constitution would apply to all people in the United States, which it does not. So if you're not a citizen,
Yeah, ask Grok,
I don't think the
please.
Constitution should apply to you. It's that simple.
and a lot of average people are looking at it this way. Why is it that we can let
Doesn't make any
20
sense.
million people into the country just walk across?
Dude, George Washington is like rolling in his grave right now. George Washington is like, bro, this is really the future of the country? Is this like sweaty neckbeard who wakes up because of dead rats and takes offense at people like insulting his mother, but at the same time couldn't stand it when people are deported to a fucking torture prison for slavery? Like what exactly? I mean, I'm glad that he's following the tradition of, you know, being pro-slavery, at least, right? I mean, does anybody deny that Asmongold is pro-slavery now?
Whatever. And there's no real process for them to do that. But then we have to individually pick out every single person and go through years upon years upon years of paperwork and this and that and the other. And all we're trying to do is send them back to where they came from because they came here illegally. And
George Washington would be like, the fuck is El Salvador? No. George Washington would be like, the fuck is World of Warcraft.
in the first place, 20 million in with no process.
Yeah.
So this is another thing that I think they should talk about more, is that I think the real problem is that the process exists in this way in the first place. Because I do agree that you need to have a process and follow the process. Just change the process.
Okay, great. So you have the House, the Senate, and the judicial branch. Change the process. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay, listen, thank you. Thank you, Asmongold. Thank you for saying that, okay? So change the process. Why didn't they do it? Why are you in such a rush? What's the rush here? Is MS-13 on its way to do things? You have the House, you have the Senate, you have the executive branch, you have the judicial branch. So change the process, right? What exactly is preventing you from doing so? Oh, wait, the political process is preventing you from doing so. But you want to change the process so bad, right? So why don't you change the process? That's such a good question, Asmongold. That's such a good question.
There's no reason why we can't just change the process, right?
Yeah, so change the process.
How do you get 20 million out with years and years of people fighting?
And he just moves on. That's
Fighting
awesome.
every single case. You could cherry pick any case you want. But the reality is the crisis that put Donald Trump in the White House was caused over years and years and years of neglect and letting people walk into here without any process at all. And now you're trying to gum up the works to keep them here.
A lot of them came in. A lot of them came in with parole. A lot of them came in.
CNN polling shows 54% of Americans want Mr.
November. Can I explain due process in 4 cents? I'm a criminal attorney, studied con law intensively. It doesn't matter to me what your explanation for it is.
What?
You're not going to convince me that an illegal alien that came into the country like without our consent should be granted the same privileges as a citizen. I don't care what the rules say. Why would I care what the rules say? The Supreme Court decided.
Bro. Asmongold is a nihilist, dude. He has no beliefs. Like, what is he even talking about
that
now?
Corporations should have free speech with Citizens United. And I'm supposed to listen to them as if they're the gospel? I don't think so. Absolutely not. It's ridiculous. So it's not relevant to me what you think the rules are or anything like that. Totally fucking meaningless.
Polling showed Donald Trump won the election.
CNN polling. The Republic is shifting.
Sovereign
That's
nation, and you cannot just come into our country illegally whenever the heck you want, because we can't do it to any other country on the face of this
Asylum
earth.
is illegal, right?
If you come in illegally, you have to leave. Americans are tired of that. We do not have unlimited.
You know who was here illegally with a deportation order? Marco Rubio's grandfather.
All right, let's.
This is literally the process.
Now we're not. Now that's not relevant.
Oh, I agree.
It's not
No,
relevant.
I'm talking about Marco Rubio because
I don't care if you're dying of cancer, you got to go. Yeah, unironically. If you're an illegal immigrant.
Dude, I like how Asmongold's strategy now for doing his commentary is double down on fucking everything. Like, why is he... Absolute cinema, okay? Absolute cinema. Like, this is absolute cinema, right? His eyebrows do more commentary than him? Yeah, his eyebrows are speaking to me. Okay? His eyebrows are screaming, help me. Release me from this prison, from this shackle. All right? Release me from this prison. We are living eyebrows on a dead body, please. Observe Asmongold, okay? His lips are moving, his eyes are moving, but observe. He has no brain, okay? His brain is absent.
And you're here in this country and you came here illegally, I don't care about your health condition. Get the fuck out of the country.
Dude, Donald Trump is like, deports a child with cancer And then Asmongold is like, masterful gambit, good sir. Masterful gambit, good sir. Sire, masterful gambit. Masterful gambit for deporting child with cancer. Like, dude, how could anybody tell me? I'm sorry. Do you know what's common sense? Not deporting a child with cancer? I'm sorry, that's just common sense. I'm just trying to be common sense here, okay? What the fuck is that accent? I was trying to imitate Chad Logic, okay?
You shouldn't have been here. Yes, absolutely.
You think Asmongold is a happy person? Like, just based off of like what he's saying here? I don't think he's a happy person. This is not the ravings of a happy person. I think somebody who is happy and, you know, actually sympathetic to people would say like, oh yeah, you know what? Well, that sounds like a dick like thing to do. Like, this is very clearly a very hateful thing, right? Did his Asian girlfriend dump him? Yeah. I don't know, dude.
What the fuck is the question? Yeah. I mean, like, and the problem is that I don't think that there's enough people saying what I'm saying. I wish that more people were, because I think this is what people.
So you're not common sense. He literally just admitted right here what he's saying is not common sense, because he wishes more people would say what he is saying. Because that's not what most people say. Right? So it's not common sense, right? Right, Asmongold? It's finally not common sense.
People actually, it's kind of heartless. No, it's
right?
not. It's heartless to let a person come into the country, perform.
Dude, what do you have to do? What do you have to do to get his own chat calling him out on being heartless? His own fucking chat is calling him heartless. This is Asmongold's chat. Asmongold's chat is calling him heartless. How much do you have to fuck up here?
Numerous other crimes on top of the crime of coming into the country, and then guilt trip the population of that country into allowing their tax dollars, their money, and their resources into helping them. That's what I think is heartless.
Dude, oh my god.
That's the problem.
Wait, so... I mean, like, if these are the positions that you're adopting, it's fine. But then now, why do you have to act like you're not so hurt when, you know, somebody insults your dead mom? Like you can't convince me that, oh, my feelings are not hurt when somebody insults my dead mom, right? Like, we can all tell that, you know, your feelings are rubbed the wrong way. Like, this is probably why you also hate white women, because you blame your mom for leaving your life so soon, right? You dislike white women so much because, you know, you feel like mommy wouldn't have left you so soon, right? Like, fuck. I mean, if cruelty is the point, then you shouldn't be complaining about cruelty to you, right? He hates white women. Dude, he calls everybody, every single time there's a white woman related in any kind of drama, he constantly says, that's a Karen. Everything in life that's wrong is because of a Karen. That's why, right? But then you're like, sometimes somebody doesn't even do anything wrong, and he's like, oh, that's a Karen. It's like, what the fuck? Clearly, you just have something against a white woman, right?
It's a total inversion of reality.
Didn't he have a bimbo white woman GF? No, well, maybe, but most of his girlfriends are Asian. Like, they're small, petite, and Asian, okay? He has a severe case of the yellow fever, and yeah. Show me? I'm intrigued. Okay, you know what? Someone else can show you, okay? I don't want to go down this tangent right now, okay? But anyone can tell you he has had a history of Asian girlfriends.
What crimes? Well, usually identity fraud, you know, obviously crossing and coming here in the first place is illegal in itself. So that's usually two right there. And that's the bare minimum, right?
I'm trying to go on less tangents these days, okay?
Then process them for that. The thing is that I don't see the reason to. Why? If you've found out that this person shouldn't be here, then the next decision should be how to get them out of here.
What?
That's it. Why is it any more complicated than that? Does anybody understand why?
Dude. Okay. All right. I mean, so yeah. I mean, okay.
No. What about a child? Well, it would be the same thing. If a kid's here illegally, of course they'd have to be sent back. I mean, if you don't want that, then you just have people sending their kids over. Of course. Duh. Who cares? Why would I care about their age?
I think you're right, Lynn, okay? I think Asmongold just needs some pussy, okay? This is I detect a severe lack of pussy, all right? From Asmongold, okay? This is what's going on, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, they're born here. Well, I mean, again, like if you're a parent and you illegally immigrate over to another country.
Yes, there you go, okay? There you go. So again, what that chatter just gave an example of is an American citizen, right? An American citizen that got deported, right? Okay, awesome. So what now? That's an American citizen. What's the excuse now? Trump can do no wrong, okay? Just remember, whatever Trump does, there's no wrong. As he is getting more and more information drip fed to him over time, he changes his argument. Like, notice, okay, as he is being drip fed information by his chat, okay, which are for once true information, okay, as he is fed more information by his chat, notice that he's changing his argument. His argument is like a blob. It's like a slime blob from D&D, okay? It's like shaping and weaving into different forms every time. Like as he is being drip fed more information.
And you have a kid here, and both of the parents are illegal immigrants, I do not think your kid should be a citizen. It doesn't make any sense to me. If this was a video game, it would be patched out.
Okay, so this is so now his argument is just something completely different now. So he's against naturalization. That's great. That's just fantastic. So you're against naturalization. Like, again, he's never mentioned this before. This is the first time we've ever heard him say something like this, right? Again, he's like shifting and changing his argument to fit his whims. He has no history of being supportive of any of these points, by the way. Okay, FYI. All right, it's not like you can look back and go like, oh, wow, okay, well, you know, Asmongold has always supported this. Well, no, he has not always supported this. All right, he is just like morphing and changing his opinions to fit whatever he wants to believe.
The idea that two people can come across the border